This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here with Tony and also Chris. Wow, Overreaction Tuesday. Is Jalen Hurts washed? That was the title of the show. I'm sure there's a lot of things we're going to talk about in today's show. If you like today's comments or content, please give us a subscribe on Gonzo Sports Room on the YouTube page, as well as Elite Sports and Entertainment Network's YouTube page. We certainly would appreciate that. Without further ado, Tony, what's up?
How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you're staying warm. It's been cold here, but yeah, let's jump right into it. LA Chargers defeated Philadelphia last night 22-19. Pretty exciting game. Chargers 275 total yards of offense, 106 passing, 169 rushing. Chargers did have 3 turnovers themselves, but they did hold the ball 38 minutes in the game, but they were sacked 7 times. Philadelphia's defense was all over the quarterback. Really, Philadelphia didn't have bad yardage. They didn't play that bad other than the turnovers, which we'll get to here in a second. 365 total yards, 231 passing, 134 rushing, but 4 interceptions and a fumble, and that's going to hurt your time. They only had the ball 29 minutes. So, yeah, the turnovers is what killed Philadelphia. Philadelphia's defense really kind of played their butt off to a certain degree. The hold Chargers to only 22 points with all the turnovers. So, Chris, your thoughts on the Chargers and Philadelphia, and what do you think about everybody? They're always on and off the quarterback bandwagon. So, what are you thinking about Hurts right now?
Hey, had a bad game. Like, it happens. Somebody has a bad game, they're washed, or they were exposed, or no, they had a bad game. But most people say Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever. Guarantee you, he had a lot of bad games.
Yep.
My opinion, Peyton Manning's the best quarterback that I've ever seen play. Tom Brady's the winningest quarterback, but the best quarterback I've seen play has been Manning, and he had a lot of bad days.
Oh yeah.
Hell, he led the league in interceptions. Set the record for interceptions his rookie season. It was a defensive battle for the most part in that game last night. I'll be honest, I didn't watch about the first 3 quarters of it. I was watching some other stuff, and I turned it over there in the fourth quarter and watched fourth quarter in overtime. But yeah, it was a defensive battle, and the Chargers was able to make a couple more plays than what Philadelphia was there when it came down to it. And I mean, Chargers should have almost cost herself the game, or probably was going to make the game go to at least the tie by jumping off sides on 4th down there. Gave them a first down, but then they end up coming up with that tip ball interception there at the end to win the game. But yeah, I don't read too much in that on the Hurts. I never thought Hurts was as good as a lot of people thought he said he was, but the dude wins. So you can't say a whole lot about it, because the Eagles win a lot of games with him there, and haven't lost him in any. He's played his best ball in the Super Bowls when he's probably played his best, had his best games. A lot of times in the regular season, I think if you try to make him throw the ball over the middle, he struggles. If you watch all of his passes or the sideline, and I believe that, and I've thought that throughout the whole time he's been in Philadelphia. And if you saw last night, there's not much over the middle. They hit the one big play to Smith over the middle in the overtime that got him in position. But other than that, everything's to the sidelines. And if you blitz him, a lot of times you get him off his mark, he struggles. But there's a lot of quarterbacks like that. You get them off their mark, they're going to struggle. So I was never high on him as everybody else. But just after last night, I'm also not going to say that he's the worst quarterback in the league either. Some of these. You know how it is, though. A lot of it's about getting clicks, and let's say the most outrageous thing we do, and let's scream a little bit and talk about how we're the highest rated show there is, and maybe somebody will care what we say.
That's true. That's a good point. Jay, your thoughts on last night's game and Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Well, first of all, a bad game is a bad game. Couple of interceptions, a fumble, whatever. That's a bad game. 40% completion rate, maybe that's a bad game. When you got like 4 picks, now one of them you could say probably wasn't his fault because it was, it did go through Brown's hands. It was a little high, and that resulted in a pick. I give you that one. But man, Bubba, when look, now stats only go back to 1978. So we don't know what happened before 1978. They didn't keep a record of it. But I got to imagine he went more beyond just that. Nobody's ever thrown an interception, got the ball back in a fumble, and then fumbled it again, only for the defense to come back up with the ball again. I mean, nobody's ever had 2 turnovers in one play. No quarterback. I mean, and again, sometimes when you have a bad game, you just have a bad game. And that was a bad, ugly game. Now, he's not washed. I don't think Jalen Hurts is washed. No. But that execution was washed all the way around. Now, Barkley had a good game. The run game definitely did good. Their defense did a good game. They sacked Herbert 7 times. It wasn't like their defense wasn't playing. But you got to give some mad love and respect to a guy that goes out there with one arm and the other hand's racked up like this. And this dude still gets 66 rushing yards on you. 66. 2 back-to-back first down runs. Back-to-back consecutively. And to say that the Eagles have won games, but let's be honest, guys. They just dropped 3 in a row. And the only reason they're going to win the division, honestly, is if you look at the remaining schedule that they have, the Bills are the only competitive team. Everybody else is 3 or 4 win teams. So I got to imagine, even if they lost the Bills game, that they would still win the division because the Cowboys, number one, have to win outright. But even if they win outright, I don't see the Eagles dropping two more games. I think they drop maybe 1 at best.
Yeah, that tie Dallas had, that tie could come back to cost Dallas.
Oh, it's going to.
It will. So, well, the other big thing too with the Philadelphia, even though their defense held them down in points, they did give up a lot of yards. They give up 169 yards rushing, and San Diego's not necessarily a great rushing team. So they got to, really I know, the quarterback gets a lot of blame, and they also get a lot of glory. Sometimes, both times, not always deserving. Sometimes they get too much blame and too much glory. And I think Philadelphia is not. I don't want to say they're not a good football team. They're not playing good right now, and you can look at all their stats, and they're middle of the road at best, and some towards the end of the league. So they're really not doing anything well right now. To be honest, they're not knocking people off the ball. I mean, that's what the Philadelphia, when they was Philadelphia, man, they were knocking people off the ball, both sides of the ball, and that's not going on right now. So I seen the schedule for Dallas and for Philadelphia, and I agree with you. I just don't think. I mean, you never know. Upsets can happen, but it's definitely favorable for Philadelphia right now with the schedule. But again, you never know. I mean, who would have thought Philadelphia was going to lose 3 in a row? So
it's not the defense that's losing it. It's all about that offense. Now, part of it is Lane Johnson not being there, right? That's a big part to be missing. And of course, Dickerson goes down with that ankle issue, right? You lose a guard, you lose a tackle. So I understand they have some issues on that O-line, but that team statistically last year was 2nd through 5th in a lot of those offensive categories. And this year, they're like 22nd, 23rd, 24th in some of those same offensive statistical categories. They put the graphic on the show last night, and where you saw that offense last year and where you see the offense this year, that's the reason why where Philly is not because the defense is doing what the defense is supposed to do, but that offense is sputtering in a lot of areas.
That's true. Yeah, I don't disagree. Well, guys, let's move on to another NFL topic I want to touch on real quick. It is official. Phillip Rivers has signed with the Indianapolis Colts. I think as of right now, he's on the practice squad. I don't know if that'll change before Sunday, if he's going to be the starter or who the starter is going to be. A lot of people, I see a lot of Colts fans upset. I'm no longer a Colts fan. What do they want him to do? I mean, who's out there that you can get? I don't even know. I don't think you can make trades, can you? Trade deadline's over. So I don't know how that would work. I think somebody has to be released, and you might be able to pick them up, but somebody else could block them and pick them up before you because there's an order you go through. So they're
Right.
kind of in a bad way. I mean, they need a warm body, and Philip Rivers is a warm body, I guess. So it is what it is.
Well, I heard Phil, can't remember if I'm wrong, but didn't Philip Rivers call them? Like he called Indy and said that was a report I heard is that he called Indy and said, "Hey, I'm here for if you."
Hey,
I don't, know
maybe,
if that's, I don't know how true that is. That's just something I've heard. But regardless, I mean, how old is he? 44, right?
44 years old. He's a grandpa.
Man. Why are they? Is Colin Kaepernick just so blacklisted that they couldn't go call him? I think he's.
Why would you call Colin Kaepernick?
Well, why would you call Philip Rivers?
Philip Rivers knows our offense. He's played in this,
Well,
he played in this
yeah.
offense his whole career. That's why you call Philip Rivers. He played in offense his whole career.
Yeah, that's why. And yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a tough. I would feel better about it if we didn't have such a tough schedule, but we got such a tough schedule, man. It's going to be really tough. Culture in a lot of trouble. I'll just touch on that real quick. You guys got any thoughts on that real quick?
Well, real quick, is it Rippon's on your practice squad, right? Or has he been elevated off the practice squad when Leonard got hurt?
Probably he got elevated. I don't know. I don't know how many people you can have on the practice squad, so I'm not sure.
I don't know if what they end up doing with them yet. I haven't.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, I think Leonard is only day to day. I don't think he's like. I think he's strained, right, a ligament or something, but he's not like all the way out, right?
They're worried he's not going to play, but
they're worried that he's not going to be ready for this Sunday.
Yeah,
and they don't have.
I got to go up against the damn Seahawks.
And I will say, I tell you what, and Leonard didn't play bad. He really didn't. His only problem was every time he made a good play, the penalty got called back because of penalty. But he didn't look bad. He really didn't. For the first time.
And the interception they got charged with wasn't an interception either.
No.
That was one of them balls that the receiver and the defensive back caught at the same time, and they called it interception where you could clearly see that Pittman caught it first and pulled it into his body. So that shouldn't have been. But no, my main thing on it is the Colts were just in a tough situation. Like the only who you gonna go out there and get? You could have went and got maybe Ryan Tannehill is about the only other guy that was out there. Yeah. And he's younger, but he's never he don't know. They've got Rivers because he knows the offense. So
what about Matt Ryan? Could Matt Ryan? Because he played for you guys too as well. Is he a little bit younger?
But it wasn't with Steichen. See, Rivers was with Steichen with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Got you.
So he knows the system already.
Okay, now I understand what you said when we were talking about he knows the system, because I just trying to figure that one, but okay.
Yeah. Steichen and Rivers were together for a long time in San Diego.
My only thing with Rivers is when he comes back, he's not going to be mobile. How's he going to be able to? Now you're going to get a helping dose of Jonathan Taylor. That means Jonathan Taylor's going to get ramped up probably a whole lot more. But how does Rivers function in this offense, given his age, and he hasn't taken a hit in 5 years, and you got to go against probably arguably the best defense next week in Seattle? That's going to be that's a tall order.
Oh yeah, it's a tall order, but you got to do what you got to do.
Oh hell yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're right.
How's it going, Frankie?
Better than the Colts.
That's true. That's true. A lot better than the Colts. That's for sure. We're in a lot of trouble. Well,
you're
guys,
not in trouble. You're just desperate.
Both. Both. Our season's probably done, I would say. Well, guys, let's move on. Let's talk a little. One thing, we got new segments, but I'm gonna give you a little time to let you guys think about this, and then before we go to it, your top 5 sports games, moments, or events from this past weekend, and we'll extend that Friday to Monday. So you guys think about that for a little bit, and we'll come back to that. But let's talk a little baseball. Hot stove. Couple moves made. Kyle Schwarber is now staying with Philadelphia, a 5-year, $150 million deal. And also we got Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers, 3-year, $69 million deal. Jay, your thoughts on those two moves?
Yeah, I'll start with the Edwin Diaz first. That's crazy. The Dodgers just get stronger and stronger, man. Nobody can financially compete with them. I mean, I mean, even with the cap that they throw in, you got to imagine they get grandfathered in at some level financially. The Dodgers, I mean, it's a good move for the Dodgers. I mean, again, it adds another weapon to a very already stacked team. I don't. It's crazy. This just blows my mind. I mean, it was a loss for the Mets, but obviously a good game for the Dodgers. When it comes to Schwarber, and, the Pirates made a move, right? 4 years, I think 140 million they offered him. He turned it down. He signs 5 years, 150. So an extra year, an extra 10 mil. That's all that really was. I think that was more of that. He wasn't going to go to the damn Pirates. I don't think he knew that he didn't really have a chance at a ring with the Pirates. So I really think it came down to just the Phillies. He likes being there. It's a competitive team. He has a shot. And he gets 10 million more, I guess.
Yeah.
It's good for the Phillies, but
Frankie, your thoughts on the hot stove news?
I think the Kyle Schwarber was a absolutely good, like a good comeback for the Phillies. They obviously needed that bat. He's their power hitter. And I think he wanted to stay in Philly. Obviously, turning down that Pirates offer was an absolute tell all. I mean, he had contract offers from other teams. I heard the Blue Jays were in it. The Cubs were in it to try and bring him back to Chicago. So there was a lot of teams in there. So it clearly showed that Kyle Schwarber didn't want to go nowhere else and just, end his career in Philly. So that was a good move. The Edwin Diaz, I hear what Jay said, honestly. And I honestly think that's not even a scary move. And if you really watched Edwin Diaz since he got hurt at the WBC, I can truly tell you that Edwin Diaz he has not had that same arm and looked scary like what he did before when he got hurt at the WBC. So it really doesn't affect me much. It just shows to me that he can't take the heat of New York fans, not just Yankees but Mets as well, because New York, we are we're crazy, we're terrible. So I mean, he clearly couldn't take the heat because the Mets had some money, some wiggle room to bring him back. They offered him a contract. He was about to take it, but instead he can't handle it. So he ended up going to the Dodgers. What other team are you going to go to that's going to try and win you a World Series? When anybody at this moment in time, if I see any athlete sign with the Dodgers, it just goes to tell me that you're scared to win in the franchise that you're already in, and you just want to go to the Dodgers because you already know that they're stacked to already win you a championship, and it's just sad. It's just humiliating. How you say? I can't even speak right now. I'm pissed. It's just sad. It's just sad, Edwin Diaz. You're a sad player. Fucking Dodgers.
Chris, your thoughts?
Schwarber really didn't surprise me. I mean, there was a lot of, especially in this part of the country, there was a lot of rumors that he was going to end up with the Reds, which I knew the Reds weren't going to spend that kind of money to get him. I figured he would end up in Philly. Pretty big contract because they signed him for 5 years, so that's going to put him at up to 37 years old. So it'd be interesting to see how the last couple of years of that contract work out. But no, I love Schwarber. Hell, he was an Indiana Hoosier. That's where he played baseball at in college. So I've been watching him for a long time. So I figured he'd end up back with the Phillies. Diaz, a lot of it's going to depend on if he can get back to his form. If he can get back to what he was a few years ago, like Frankie said, before the injury, if he can get back to that form, it'll really help the Dodgers, because what was the Dodgers' biggest problem last year for most of the season until basically the playoffs was their bullpen, and they didn't have a closer for a long time last year, and then the one, I think, rookie or second year guy, they ended up moving him to closer, and it worked out. He done pretty well, but no, it could be a great pickup for the Dodgers. A lot of it just depends on if Diaz can get back. But if you notice with both Diaz brothers, they got off to hot starts in the major league, and then both of them kind of cooled off quite a bit. Because if you look at Alexis Diaz, look what he did with the Reds. He came in, had a great year with all those saves, and then he was so bad that the next 2 seasons after that, the Reds shipped him out in the middle of the season, and he's with the Braves now, but he hasn't ever got back to form.
Yeah.
And then ever since Edwin was jumping around celebrating him and hurt himself, he hasn't he hasn't been able to get back to that form. So both of them got off to real hot starts, but haven't been able to get back to that level yet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Schwarber, isn't he 34? So if he played the end of that, he'd be damn near 40 by the time that contract ends.
Because I'm pretty sure he's 32, but he might be 34.
Well, he's born in 93.
He ain't doing
so,
much. He's not doing much. He's only a DH.
I'm about to say, but yeah, as a DH, I mean, all you gotta do is hit the ball like Ortiz did. So he could probably extend his career for a hot minute being a DH.
He's 32 years old.
Is he 32? I thought he was older than that. Okay.
I heard the Reds. I heard the Reds were even in on Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
How come y'all couldn't?
They were.
Snag him?
Yeah, they were trying, but yeah, he wouldn't stay with the Phillies. I can understand that. They're a pretty good franchise.
I'll tell you why, Tony. Because no player wants to freaking play for Tony Francona's bitch ass.
Okay, that's possible. Guys, next up, Chris is going to do a little UFC recap from this past Saturday, and I know we talked about those fights last. I believe it was Friday, and it didn't go the way that we thought it was going to go. Some interesting stuff happened. So, Chris,
No, fuck, I don't know why you want me to do a recap. Both picks I gave out for the UFC got their ass kicked. Well,
one didn't get his ass kicked.
Pantoja didn't get his ass kicked. He broke his arm 20 seconds into the fight.
Yeah,
So,
that was a crazy break.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, both guys I picked in the main event didn't work out for him. No, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the whole card, but what I watched was pretty good. Like Frankie just said, the break on Pantoja's arm was crazy. I think the guy Jan, I think he landed one punch and now he's the champion in that weight division. Kind of was going in like a takedown situation, and Pantoja posted his arm out to catch himself as he was going down, and it just snapped at the elbow. It was
horrible.
It was nasty looking. Like
It
I
was
said,
nasty looking, but if you love it, it was beautiful.
it was like 20 seconds into the fight. And then the main event was a big surprise for me anyway. These two guys have fought before, and Merab Dvalishvili just dominated Peter Yan, however you want to pronounce his damn name. Everybody says it different. But this fight was the totally opposite. Yan dominated Dvalishvili. Me personally, watching the fight, I had Dvalishvili win in one round. I had him win in the second round. Other than that, he got pretty much dominated the rest of the rounds, and his face was bloody. But yeah, it was weird because usually Dvalishvili can take down anybody. And the first fight, he could take Yan down basically at will. This time, he couldn't get hardly any takedowns. And when he did get a takedown, boom, they were right back to their feet. I mean, it was a good fight to watch, even though the one guy was dominating a lot of it because both guys kept going at it. So it was a fun fight. But yeah, I was surprised in that. I did not see Merab getting beat at all for that belt.
Chris, I got a question for you. Do you think, because some people have said this, they think Merab extended himself too far this year. This was like his fourth or fifth title defense. And usually guys don't have that many title defenses in a year. They don't fight 5 times in a year. Do you think he could have overextended himself?
Oh, I mean, I guess maybe, but I'd have to go back and look. But I think he's a guy that's always fought like 3-4 times a year. So I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary for him, really, because he's always, since he's been in the UFC, he fights quite a bit. As long as he's not hurt, that dude wants to fight. That's how a lot of them guys from Russia or that area or wherever he's from.
Right.
That's how a lot of them are. That's what they do. They like to beat the hell out of each other. So, but yeah, it was a war, but he was on the wrong side of the war this time. I'm sure there'll be a third fight between these two.
Oh yeah, definitely. I did watch Henry Cejudo have his retirement fight. He got the hell beat out of him. It was a war, though. I mean, both guys were beat up, especially Cejudo. The guy he took on was a former training partner of him, and he's going to continue to train with him. But the guy was a lot younger, 8-9 years younger. I think only lost maybe one fight. Cejudo at the end of his career. I mean, he's former champion, Olympic champion, had a great career, but he just got. But I mean, he fought, man. It was a war. I will say that. So
Brandon Moreno looked real good too. He got a win by knockout in the second round, but Moreno looked real good. I thought as well.
Okay.
Or excuse me, Moreno got beat. I meant
he got beat.
It was other guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
I feel
The
like
other
this
guy was talking
entire
about was Taka, knocked him out.
I feel like this entire pay-per-view, even from the prelims, they were all quick. This entire pay-per-view was all quick. It wasn't like I didn't see not one, maybe one fight got to 3 rounds. But other than that, it was like knockouts, TKOs, submissions, all in like the first round, second round, beginning of the second round. Like this pay-per-view went quick.
The last couple will have the last one before this. Almost all the fights were held. The main event last time. The main event was starting before midnight on the last one, and that's rare.
Yeah, we had that
Well,
one
even on
fight.
this one, the main event started pretty early on this
Yeah,
one
yeah,
too.
it
To Frankie's
Well,
point, but yeah, the last two have been pretty quick.
Well,
Quick cards, a lot of knockouts, and
we had that main event get stopped because the guy got poked in the eye.
yep.
And that was a daytime one because I was watching that on the way home from Chicago, and dude got poked in the eye. And
No, I forgot about that one. The one I was talking about was the one
Yep.
before it because it was a night
Yep.
one when I was talking about. So yeah, so basically, I think the last 3 have been kind of quick.
I'm waiting for the next one because I cannot wait to see Amanda Nunes come out of retirement to have that fight. It's going to be an amazing pay-per-view. The next pay-per-view is going to be a huge card. I'm pretty sure Shane O'Malley is going to be fighting in that card as well. It's going to be a huge card that night. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Well,
I think
guys,
I think that might be I think that might be 2 more.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the
You're
middle.
talking
It's
about
like
the
in the
White
middle of
House.
January.
Yeah, you're talking about the White House show, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's one more before that. You have that Roy Vall and Kate
That's
show.
this weekend, isn't it?
Yes, this weekend coming up, and then I think the one Frankie's talking about is the next one.
bigger one.
I'm looking
The
forward.
bigger
I'm looking
one.
forward to that. It's gonna be cool being at the White House, and
That's weird. That's interesting. They're doing it at the White House.
Why do you think Trump is doing all that renovation at the White House? I'm not.
Well, is that going to be like? Is that going to be like inside the White House, or are they going to do it like on the
it's
lawn?
Outside. It's outside on the lawn.
Yep, it's gonna be outside.
But
Okay.
that's also why he's like making like renovations around the White House. Like he's making the ballroom bigger. He got rid of the what do you call it? The flower garden area. He made all that like land. He's making whole renovations just for that UFC stuff. Probably for future stuff too, but I know mainly for the UFC.
Yep. Well, guys, let's move on to the new segment. Your top 5 sports games, moments, events from this past weekend. We'll extend it from Friday to Monday. Guys, I'll go first with my top 5. Number 5 for me was Houston beating Kansas City, definitely knocking Kansas City out of the playoffs. So that's a great thing. Houston looking pretty good. Number 4, Jones injury. Colts in big trouble. I think they're done. Number 3, Notre Dame not getting in and crying like little bitches. I like that. I like that a lot. Number 2, Georgia destroying Alabama. I like that a lot. And number 1, IU beats Ohio State and wins a Big Ten championship. So that was my number 1 for this past weekend. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, in terms of impact on a sport, I like the IU win over Ohio, just because like we've all known the last couple of years, IU when they got Signetti has really kind of made that transitional push into football, which we know they have never really been into football. So I like the fact of what IU did. So I got to put that. And these are in no particular order, but I think that's got to be my number 1. Just because I didn't think Indiana could be Ohio. And the fact that they got the win, regardless, whatever fashion you want to call it, a W is a W. They got it. And I think it's amazing. Secondly, my second biggest moment was, and it's just because I love watching it. I just love watching the Eagles implode. There's no greater feeling in my life than all the people who talk about how bad the Cowboys are. To watch them go out there and poop the bed as bad as they pooped it offensively was just a beautiful moment for me. So I would say probably the number 3 one was the way, in fact, that Georgia dominated Alabama to show Alabama, hey, you're still our bitch, basically, was amazing to me. And again, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, I mean, these guys have not missed the playoffs in 9 damn years. And now they're on the verge of missing the playoffs, and that's crazy to me that they're not going to be there, possibly. And then probably lastly for me is just, looking at how good the Colts are, and then the unfortunate, situation with Daniel Jones. That's devastating, not only for a team, but for a division, because now that really opens the door up for Jacksonville or Houston to figure out who's going to get the winner of that division. But in all purposes, it was looking like you guys were going to walk away with it up until Daniel Jones got hurt. And I thought that was very impactful as well on the AFC side of it. So those are my biggest moments.
Okay. And Chris, what about you?
You have to have Colts losing Jones as a big moment on there. And then I would go with Texas beating the Chiefs. Then I would go with Fernando Mendoza locking up the Heisman and his interview at the end of the game. I don't know if you guys watched his interview if you guys happen to see his interview after that Big Ten championship game. It was a spectacle. It was pretty awesome. Number 2, I would have Duke pulling out the upset against Virginia in the ACC championship game, and then number 1, IU beating Ohio State. That has to be to me the biggest moment of the weekend. Number 1 versus number 2. The losingest college program ever in college football, beating the big bad Buckeyes and making and then actually the number 1 thing from the weekend is all these bitch ass Ohio State fans crying. That's been the number 1 thing.
So you feel about Ohio like I feel about Philly. I mean, I feel.
I didn't until all you've heard now is whining and excuses. And hey, you lost. And they still have a chance to win the national championship because.
And I feel that way.
Lost that game.
I feel that way about Notre Dame. You lost head-to-head to Miami. I know the committee screwed up because of the way that they did it. Miami should have been ahead of them to begin with because they beat them head-to-head. And so, I mean, like I said, I got a friend who's a huge Notre Dame fan.
I agree with you to a point, but I think Notre Dame got screwed because of the way the committee did it.
Yes, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with
Miami ain't been ahead of them all year. How do they move ahead of them without
playing the game? Especially not playing the game. I agree. The committee's screwed the pooch. There ain't no doubt about that. But like I said, I got a good friend, Chris. You know him, Billy. He goes to 2 or 3 Notre Dame games a year. He's a huge Notre Dame fan. But he wanted Notre Dame to make it, but he understood Miami beating them and head to head. He said head to head has to count for something. And he also understands the conferences, like with Alabama playing that extra game. He understands that. So I mean, it's hard. You really can't. Why would you go play a conference championship game if it's going to count against
you? What's crazy to me is Notre Dame obviously is the biggest one to drop out of a bowl game, right? But there's like 9 others, right? Kansas State, Kansas, Iowa State, Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, Rutgers, Temple, and they got Rutgers in there twice. Either way, see, but yeah, like, I mean, look at all these people that are dropping out of. Now, I don't know if that was a ripple effect after Notre Dame did it, or if they just all kind of did it at the same time. But it's crazy that these guys are dropping out of bowl games. Like, I don't understand.
Is it because of the people leaving because they can go to other teams?
Yeah,
I think that portal being when it is, I think that kind of screws things up. That's just my opinion.
I think that has something to do with, and you get a lot of these teams, if they do play in these bowls, they don't have a lot of their players that they had because a lot of them have already entered the portal or are going to set out because they're entering the draft and they don't want to get hurt. And just be honest, since they started these college football playoffs, these bowls don't mean shit.
Yeah, I mean, they really don't. Not at this point.
Not to the bigger schools. I mean, they mean something to like a MAC school and your group of 5 schools, but not to your Power 4 conferences. They don't mean nothing no more.
Yeah. But somebody made a good point. I'll make it after this. Let Frankie go. Frankie, you're top 5 from the weekend.
My number 5 would have to be. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and tell Jay, fuck off. I heard what you said. We're not Georgia. We're not Georgia's bitches. If anything, Georgia's still our bitch. That was just the second time Kirby Smart ever beat Georgia or Alabama. So put some respect into our name just because we lost a conference championship. But number 5, would have to be Houston beating Kansas City. It's absolutely amazing to see Kansas City fall so far back. We're gonna actually see a whole different AFC playoff teams in the AFC conference side. Number 4 will be seeing Dallas lose to the Lions. Obviously, I love when Dallas lose, because when Dallas lose, I win because Jay lose. So it's amazing. Number 3 would have to be Daniel Jones, and it's not like I'm happy about it. It's really sad. The only happy thing about it for me is I finally told you guys. I've been telling you guys since day one that something was gonna happen. I didn't wish upon any injury upon him, but my prediction came true, and now you guys are gonna be at the bottom. You guys are gonna be at the bottom. Yes, you guys started at 7-1, and now you third place in your division on the outside looking in.
Yep.
I feel
Hey,
really
Frankie just
so,
happy because that Pretenders team he's on doesn't have to face the Colts.
So that's number 3. Excuse me, Jay. I didn't interrupt you when you did your top 5. Please do not interrupt me when I'm doing mine. Understand? Have profession, and don't do it again. Thank you very much. And we're not going to be pretenders when we beat the Bills and become AFC East champions again, baby. Number two would have to be seeing the Eagles lose last night, honestly. Like Jalen Hurts throwing 4 interceptions, I believe it was, and then being the first player since like 1970 something to have 2 turnovers in like one play was absolutely, like, that game was absolutely mind blown to me, because I'm just like, what the hell? You throw an interception, then the Rams fumble it, you recover it, then you fumble it for the Rams to recover it right back, or the Chargers to recover it right back. It was an absolute mind-blowing sight. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know what we were watching. I thought it was dodgeball for a second. But number 1, I'm going to give it to you guys. Number 1 is going to be IU. Congratulations. You guys have done something that Chris has never seen in a lifetime, and that's the Big Ten championship. You guys have done something that Tony ain't seen since he was doing Free Love, and that's holding up the Big Ten championship. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys are 13-0, undefeated season, and there's more to come. You guys are literally can be national championship bound, and your quarterback can be the first Indiana player in history to win the Heisman Trophy. So congratulations to you guys. It's well worth it, and I really hope you're one and done in the playoff.
I have a question, though. I have a question for both of you guys, Frankie and Tony. Oh, excuse me, Tony and Gonzo. Given where Indiana is at in the bracket, right, and the number 1 spot, would you rather be playing the teams you're playing in that bracket, or would you rather be on the other side of the bracket playing those teams?
I think there's some easier games. I mean, I think Oklahoma don't scare me a lot. I mean, their defense is good. I just don't know if they could score enough points against IU. Alabama's a dangerous team. I'm not going to take anything away from Alabama. If they're on, they could beat anybody that's in the tournament. I'm being totally serious. They're capable. Now, they haven't played very good the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, they haven't. That's just a fact. But they're a dangerous team. I think out of the 12 teams, I think there's 6, 7 teams that could win it all. That's my opinion. I think are good enough that could win it all. So there's no guarantee. I mean, I'm not going to say I'll be satisfied if we don't make it to the finals, but I'm not going to be down. I mean, you take it like you said, where we was 3 years ago, and where we are now. It's complete turnaround that nobody could ever imagine. Nobody could ever predicted this. So it's still a successful season no matter what. But I think we got to. I think we match up good with Alabama or Oklahoma. I think we'd have a good chance to beat either of those teams. And on the other side of the bracket, we more likely going to have Oregon or Texas Tech. We beat Oregon before. Of course, it's not always easy to beat another team twice. So it's going to be tough. Once you get down to that final 8, it's not going to be easy. But I like our chances. Chris, what do you think about where we're at?
Yeah.
If you're one of the top 4 seeds, if you're one of the top 4 seeds, you're going to. We weren't going to have it much easier, other than if you got maybe the 4th seed and you get the winner of Oregon and fucking one of the teams that shouldn't even be in the goddamn thing.
James Madison.
Yeah, James Madison.
Yeah.
But honestly, no, because to win it all, you got to beat everybody anyway. And honestly, I think Ohio State has a tougher draw than we do. even at being at number 2 because they're on the same side of Georgia. They're at 4.
Yeah.
And you have Ole Miss, and you have Ole Miss on that side, who, in my opinion, is a good enough team to win it all. Their only loss is to Georgia, and they blew that. They kind of blew that game. They had to lead late in that game.
Yeah.
So I do. And out of the top 4, honestly, I think Texas Tech is on our side, and to me, they would be, not that they're not a good team, but they would be the weaker of the top 4 seeds. I'd rather them on our side than Georgia or Ohio State. So no, and hey, to get where we want to get, you got to be everybody, whoever's in your way anyway. So we've proven this year so far we can beat whoever gets in our way. We just beat the number 1 team. Now we got to win 3 more games to get to our goal.
Real quick, I wanted to bring up what I had heard. A guy made a proposal that he thinks what they should do.
Before you do that, I just have one question for you guys. Do you guys think, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an IU fan, do you think this is the best turnaround by a coaching job, best turnaround of a program, what Cignetti has done the last 2 years at IU in college football history?
Yes.
Yeah, in my opinion, absolutely. I don't know of anybody that's gone from basically no program, right? No program. And then you bring in a coach and you go from basically having no type of program to now you're number 1 in the rankings and a 2-year time span. Yeah, I don't know if any other program has turned around that fast. Not that I know of anyway.
Well, there's been a lot of people saying that it was. And I feel like it is too, but I'm a big IU fan, so it's easy for me to.
I'll give you that because I mean, look at Texas. I mean, look how long Texas has been around, and we just had to go to the SEC to get back. I mean, and that program's been around for 100 years, and you guys have done in 2 years what some programs have never even done in their entire existence.
What do you think, Frankie?
What do I think about what?
Oh,
I just got back. Sorry.
Okay. Hey, Chris was just saying, do you think this IU is the greatest turnaround, 2-year turnaround of all time in college?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I think so because like when you look at it, nobody believed in you guys. There are so many people, even this year alone, that was waiting for that one game that you guys are going to slip up and lose. And you just kept overcoming it. And then it came up when you guys played Penn State, where everybody thought you were going to lose that game against Penn State. Even I thought you were going to lose.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to lose so bad that I worked Jay up to start talking trash to you guys super early for no reason. And then, like, once I seen IU come back, I'm trying to secretly tell Jay to stop, but he just didn't want to. And I just said, okay, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to let the outcome be the outcome. So, I mean, this was a great turnaround, definitely. I think that this is one of the greatest turnarounds in NCAA football history, no doubt about it. I mean, this is something that like Nick Saban didn't even do. So I mean, this is a huge accomplishment for Indiana and that head coach.
Yeah, the proposal I was talking about, I seen this guy made. He thinks they should put the best 12 teams. No, don't worry about the Power 4 conference. Put the best 12 teams in, and then have the Power 4 teams and another tournament for the lesser teams. Do you think that people would be interested in that?
Oh yeah, definitely, because people like Jay can finally have a second chance.
People like me. Whatever, man. You're so ridiculous. I just love the hate. It's a lot of hate today.
It's fun for me because last year Alabama wasn't in it and you guys were, and you were talking that trash to me. And now it's this year, it's reversed. We're back in it now. You're not. So let
me tell you something. You know how you got consolation prizes. You're just in there as a consolation prize guy. Don't read too much into it. Okay. You had one writer who decided to keep you in it, and that was the way it went. We'll see what happens.
I don't know who the second favorite is, but Ohio State is the favorite to win it all. They're 26% chance of winning it all. I think that's plus 240. I think, but they were they showed it on ESPN that they were considered the favorites to win it all.
I think Georgia could be honestly the top favorite to win it all as well.
Yeah,
and this is coming from an Alabama fan who just got his ass kicked by Georgia, and I'm used to kicking Georgia's ass. So I'll tell you guys right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. when we were down 21-0, I turned that shit off. I'm like, the hell with this game. I knew right then and there because I seen the whole game, and we did not we had our running back was injured, our defense wasn't showing up. So I mean, once it went 21-0, I'm like, yeah, there's no point in watching this game. I knew that we were still going to be in the playoffs because the outcome of a conference championship does not affect the committee's vote, which I think is normal. Which is why I laugh at everybody around the world that is saying, "Oh, I can't believe Alabama, 3-loss team, is in it." Well, guess what? You're looking at it because we have 3 losses. You're not looking at it as they don't count the conference championships as one of those. So, I mean, keep crying about it, Notre Dame. I don't care.
Hey guys, I gotta go. Gotta pick up my grandson. Just a quick reminder: NBA show tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and brand new show starts tonight. NBA. Talk to you guys later.
All right, man. Be good, brother.
All right, so we're just gonna stay quiet until he leaves, or
Nah. I try to think where to go. I forgot he was leaving early. No, I when it comes to this one, man, I knew Texas. I knew Texas was overranked. Because we hadn't seen anything from Arch. I had no idea we were going to have an Arch. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Texas missing the playoffs at all. I mean, it is what it is. But But it does upset me. Like, and I've said this a million times that you get a Tulane or a JMU that goes in there, and I'm like, they're in there because they had 2 spots for conference champions. I get that. But I mean, I think both of us, whether you don't even worry about Texas, but I think there's other schools in that top 25 that they could have put in there that would have been better. That's the only downside I don't like to this format of what they're using so far. I like the 12 best teams. You know what I mean?
I think what pushed you out is the amount of conference games you lost, right?
Right.
But what also didn't put you back up there, because you guys were close in there. But what didn't fully put you up there was the close wins that you guys had against teams where you should have blown out.
Oh, for sure.
There was a couple games that were like
100
team that you guys won in overtime with, again, like by 3 or whatever. So I think like affecting that, the committee had to look at it and be like, well, that's the reason why we can't put Texas that high up in.
No, and again, I'm not mad at Texas isn't in there. I mean, you can think of a lot of reasons why they're not in there. I just don't like the fact that JMU is in there, or Tulane is in there. I just don't think that they're the best 2 teams to be in the playoffs. I understand that by the way the format is, that's just the way it is, which is why I think they need to change it. And
if the ACC didn't have the fucked up rules, you would only had one of them in.
And that's true. That's very true. So how do we fix that then?
Well,
I mean, how do they fix it? I should say.
Well, next year, which they'd already signed this before this happened, but the 5 conference champions are in. So, like next year, say if Duke would have won that game, Duke would have been in because they won that. But the way they had it set up this year and last year was, if the conference champion wasn't ranked in the top 20 or whatever, they didn't go, and it goes to your next highest ranked group of conference champion. That's how James Madison got in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any perfect way to fix it.
They have one spot carved out for the group of 5, but because the ACC having the stupid tiebreaker rule that put Duke in instead of Miami, if you had Miami versus Virginia, the winner of that game was going to go, and then James Madison wouldn't have got in.
Right. But would it hurt though if we did go to and I know it's a lot, but I mean, would it hurt them if they went to a 2014 play-in, or not play-in, but tournament? And then that way nobody can say shit. Basically, you're top. Now, obviously, certain teams would have buys, right? So many buys would be in there. But I wonder if they could structure it or format it for that.
I don't know if you'd have enough time. I think it might extend.
It'd be more of a time issue. Yeah.
I think what's going to happen, they're going to go to 16. Yeah. It don't matter if you go to 24, if you go to 16, you're still going to have the same. You're still going to have people whining and crying about the last couple spots. I mean, look at the NCAA basketball tournament. They let 68 damn teams in now, and you still got people crying about not getting in. So it don't matter. The more team, if they keep expanding, there's still going to
Right.
be that discussion. I think it's going to end up going to 16 teams, and you'll get your 5 conference champions will get automatic bids.
Which should be.
Your power 4 conferences, and then your group of 5, and then there'll be the seven at-large bids, and then
Right.
you'll be done.
I mean, I could get on that. I mean, if you got 6,
Or
you should
9
have
or
more than
however it
16
is.
anyway. I could see 16. I could see 16 working. You're gonna have certain buys in there, but like you said, because then you have the right amount of champions, which they should be in there, right? And then you're gonna have the ones with have good records that should be in there, right? I don't mind the 16 team.
My biggest problem this year with the committee was what is like you're moving people with that. You had people ahead of other teams the whole time, and you move them at the end. If you had them ahead of them, put them ahead of them when you think they're ahead of them. And then my other one is that they say conference championship games you're not going to punish a team for losing it. Well, you punished BYU for losing for getting beat in the conference championship game, and you did, but you did in Alabama. Which Alabama should have been in. I believe Alabama should have been. I think they're one of the top.
Damn, that's messed up. That's messed up. He's talking so sweet about Alabama. He just gets cut off. That is so messed up. StreamYard is so screwed. I can't believe StreamYard just did that.
They said there's only so much BS we can handle. We're gonna freeze Gonzo. Boop.
That's crazy.
Man.
You know what pisses me off is why am I just seeing this? Jay, do you want to tell him or should I tell him?
Man,
Jay, do you want to tell?
Hey, I was letting that one lie, man. I was just gonna let that one lie. But if you want to say something about it, please, you can.
I mean, I don't know if I should remind him, but I think he forgot who was the first team to beat Buffalo when they were 4-0 to start the year. I think he must have forgotten. But if he wants to think that, go right ahead. Damn.
No, I think he definitely froze. He had to come back in.
Damn. StreamYard was pissed at him.
Let me ask you this, man. Though, when you let's break away. I want to come back to the NFL just for a minute, man. The Chiefs, jeez, man. I mean, what happened to them? They look so damn good starting off or last year, and then this year they haven't looked right from the beginning of the season. They haven't looked right.
They didn't even look good last year either, Jay.
Towards the end, yeah.
They really didn't look good last year. They snuck by on so many games that they won, and I don't even know how they made it to the Super Bowl. I honestly, I'm just surprised, honestly, that they still got 6 wins this season. That defense is depleted. I feel so bad for Steve Spagnuolo because that dude's a great defensive coordinator, and he's doing all he can with like little help he's got on that field. Because the defense, literally, when you look at the Chiefs' defense, all you look at is what's his name, Frank
right.
Clark. So I mean, that's the only guy on the defense. And then when you look at the offense, Chris just wrote us.
No, I just saw that. Yeah, I figured it had to be his internet because he just went like that quick, and I was like, nah, that's internet. That's what I was thinking. But
and then when you look at the Chiefs' offense. Patrick Mahomes don't look good. He was throwing plays, right? Jumping in the middle of the air, throwing passes that normally 2 years ago or last year, they were getting completed. Everybody was looking at him like, how can that pass be made? This year he's doing it, and it's not working out.
So it's looking mortal is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah. And then you got, Xavier Worthy's, it doesn't look 100% to me. He started off, if you remember his first game of the season, I think it was like first 2 plays, he ends up getting hurt, and he's getting sidelined for like 3 or 4 weeks, and he's still right now not looking good. And then you got the only person that Patrick Mahomes is throwing to is Rashee Rice. Ever since he came back, it's been nothing but Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice. So when the defense is seeing that on the opposite side, and that you're just throwing it to Rashee, they already know that that's the only person they're going to cover. They're not going to cover Travis Kelce because what the hell is he catching? Like, how many times have we seen this year alone the great Travis Kelce catch a pass, bob off his chest, and it's intercepted?
Oh, yeah.
So many times. He did that to end the game on Sunday night. So, I mean, we've seen it so many times. This isn't the normal Travis Kelce. I just want to put it out there, though, Jay. And from now on, I never want to hear someone put Patrick Mahomes' name in the conversation of Tom Brady, and I never want to hear someone put Travis Kelce's name in the conversation of Rob Gronkowski, because you cannot name me one time you see Rob Gronkowski done what Travis Kelce has been doing. He has never dropped passes from Tom Brady. If he did, he wouldn't bounce it off his chest and have the other team intercept it. It wouldn't ever happen. I don't know what's going on with this.
No, you know what's going on. No, don't act like you don't know what's going on. We all know what's going on. You maybe not you per se, because you have never seen this in your franchise. I have in the Dallas franchise with Romo, and I don't care what anybody says. When these damn celebrities start mixing it up with these athletes, look at the athlete's career and see where it was before and after said relationship. Guarantee they look worse afterwards.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Every damn time.
Yeah, Tony Romo with Justin Simpson. You got Travis Kelce with freaking Taylor Swift. Look at Russell Wilson married to Sierra.
Don't even get me started on the Kardashians, what they did to athletes. Am I right?
That is true.
I can see one athlete go into that family and come out the better for it.
That is true. What happened to Darian Sproles ever since he broke up with Kim Kardashian?
Bruh. Harden. But Chloe. Hell, Lamar Odom is a classic example of it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That poor man ain't never been the same.
Same thing with Tristan Thompson.
Man, I mean, the list goes on. My point is, Travis should have never gotten with Taylor. Now, Travis, I know you love Taylor, and I know she's probably the best thing you ever had. But, man, she is killing your career because you ain't look the same. You ain't acting the same. Your haircut ain't the same. Nothing about you is the same. You used to use words like jabroni. Is that even in your vocabulary anymore? Because right now you look like the damn jabroni. Time to be alive. Travis freaking Kelce.
Chris, I apologize for the interruption of StreamYard. You were talking so highly and so lovely about Alabama that they just cut you off. And I apologize for StreamYard. They're so rude and disrespectful for that. I hope it doesn't happen again.
No, I'll tell you what happened was the baby unplugged the internet box in another room. so that's what cut me off.
It's like, oh, this look good. I put in mouth.
He got a hold of the cord and yanked it out of the wall. So.
Well, at least he didn't bite into the cord. At least he only yanked it out. Just saying.
All right, boys, I gotta head out. I gotta start making these girls something to eat. All I just gotta say is, Joe, the hell with you. We're gonna beat Buffalo again, like we did the first time. Buffalo's next. We win that. We win the AFC East. Then we got Baltimore, which got flexed to Sunday night. Let's go. The Pats are back. Give us some respect. I don't want to hear no more Charmin Ultra shit because, Jay, the teams that we have beaten that you said are Charmin Ultras are teams that are winning this year, like the Carolina Panthers that beat your team. I'm out of here.
The fact that he said Carolina Panthers and it's going to run like a little girl after he says it. Well, maybe he's not running. He's going to stick around. Stick around. I got some things to say about that.
I'm still here. I'm waiting for you to finish what you got.
Good. Because what do
you got to say about the Panthers, the 7-6 Panthers that's over 500 and you're not?
I'm going to get there. Calm down.
All right.
We're at the top. We're at the top of the hour anyway. That's right. You should take off. I'm about to unload in your way. No, look. All right, Chris, you're an unbiased person here. I have issues with the Patriots. You probably, maybe you don't, maybe you do. I don't know. Your team has clearly beaten the Patriots, right? I think. Well, no, that was Eli. Eli beat the Patriots twice. I don't know if Peyton has, but that's neither here nor there. What is your honest opinion? I have said they're soft, that they're unproven, that they're a good team, but I'm not ready to say that they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. What is your expectation and what is your thoughts on the New England Patriots?
They're a good team. I think right now they're either the best or second best team in the AFC. Them and Denver. You have to say they're playing. Them two teams have been playing the best, and I think New England has a real good chance of being in the AFC Championship game. Hate to say it because I'm not a Patriots fan at all, but no, I mean
let me ask you this now. Obviously, because of the Colts injury situations, that makes you kind of out of it a little bit. Jacksonville and Houston still are in it. Jacksonville is playing pretty good ball. Houston got out to a really slow, horrible start to the season. I mean, bad, right? I think they lose their first 3 games, I think. But Houston is quietly making a case for themselves defensively and now offensively a little bit now at this point. Where do you put Houston or in this conversation? Where do you put Jacksonville? Do they have a shot in hell, or are they just off to the side?
I think Houston has a little bit better shot than Jacksonville, but with Houston, it's going to come down to me is their offense going to be able to consistently play at a high enough level? Their defense is going to keep them in games. Their defense don't give up very many points. But is the offense going to be able to consistently play at a high enough level? The last couple of weeks they have, but they haven't the whole year. So if they can keep that up, yeah, because right now Texans are they're on the outside looking in.
Right.
So I mean, they got to get in. But if they get in, they're going to be just as dangerous as anybody because of that defense. Jacksonville, I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence. Is my main thing there, and I still believe that Colts probably would have won that game Sunday if we would have had our quarterback go out with Achilles and stuff. Jacksonville's a good team, but I think the Texans are a better team than Jacksonville right now. So I'd give the Texans a better chance in the playoffs than Jacksonville. But like I said, the Texans, their biggest thing is they got to get consistent on the offensive side of the ball.
One last question before we head out. This, matter of fact, this will be the heading out the door question. NFC, AFC, who has it tougher right now if you're competing?
I think the AFC.
Yeah. And is that because of all the unknown variables that's going on right now in these teams in the AFC? So it's harder to gauge where they are?
Maybe a little bit of that, but to me, when I think in my head of teams that have a legitimate shot of winning the Super Bowl, there's more teams out of the AFC come up in my head than the NFC. NFC, I got like the Rams, the Seahawks, and then after that, you start getting everybody has a lot of questions in the NFC. Like everybody was real high on the Eagles, but look how up and down they've been. The Bucs was a Super Bowl contender. Everybody thought. Look. So, I mean, the Rams and the Seahawks are kind of standing out in the NFC. Where in the AFC, yeah, you have New England, you have Denver. I still feel like the Chargers could maybe make a little bit of noise in there. But I think there's a few more live teams in the AFC than the NFC. But, hey, there's some good teams in both. It's going to be fun. But I still think the Rams are going to be the team out of the NFC. I really like the Rams. I like them. But I was on them before the season ever started.
I know you were. You've been very, very consistent with the Rams. And I agree with the Rams and Seahawks, things like that. I mean, very consistent. We're going to put a push pin in it for today. Check us out tonight when we will be back tonight at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Me, Gonzo, Tony, possibly Glenn. And we'll be talking NBA hoops and things along that nature. And then find out next Thursday, or I should say this Thursday at 9:10 Central or 9:10 Eastern, when we do the NFL show. I got more questions for Chris about the NFC, AFC, and what we can expect as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. And that's this week. So, again, it's your boy Jay McLovin with Gonzo, Tony, Frankie, and Joe. We thank you, man. Jeff's 3829, man. We appreciate all you guys stopping by, commenting. And catch us next time, which is tomorrow here on the afternoon show. Peace out.